But first, there is one issue that Bill Maher is amazed has not gained public attention.
If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Absolutely.
It's Africa. That's why no one's talking about it, and they should be. You can't read about it in mainstream media. It's sad.
Wow, powerful moment. As Congressman Riley Moore noted, Nigeria has become the deadliest place in the world to be a Christian. 7,000 Christians slaughtered at the hands of Boko Haram and other Islamist terrorist groups just this year in an annihilation of tens of thousands of Christians that goes back to 2009. The International Religious Freedom Act mandates that the president list nations as, quote, countries of particular concern if they engage in or tolerate severe violations of religious freedom. Now, in Trump's first term, he designated Nigeria as a CPC, but listen to this, quote, in 2021, the Biden State Department reversed the finding, claiming the violence wasn't about religious persecution, but the impact of climate change. Let's bring in Nancy Mace. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, why would Biden delist this country as a CPC?
Well, we know that President Biden, we know Democrats, folks on the left, don't respect Christianity. They don't respect the faith. And when you look at what President Trump did in his first term, designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, he did that because of the violations of religious freedom. And when you're looking at trying to find the data, trying to find the statistics, they widely vary. But at a bare minimum, it's at least 62 to 100,000 plus Christians that have been killed, murdered, or maimed in this region, in this country over the last decade or 2 decades. The 18,000 churches that have been desecrated or burned to the ground, the over 5 million Christians that have had to flee their homes. That's before we get even talking about Syria. When the Syrian president was here just a few weeks ago, they were burning Christian villages down as well. But Donald Trump protects the faith, not just here, but abroad. But the left won't recognize it. And it's disgusting. But President Trump has led us to this point today. And I think the only person that really could address it and be honest about it is Donald Trump.
Yeah, and, I would note that his envoy to Africa assured us that Americans support that we are very vocally against what's happening with Boko Haram. He also notes that Muslims are being killed. That's what the president of Nigeria says. So there are some factors here I know they're looking at. I do want to point this out, though. This is the Romanian soccer fans, rather. You can see they have a Defend Nigerian Christian sign. You also see New England's Patriots running back, posting this: pray for followers of Christ in Nigeria. So there is some public support here. I want to know on a personal level, though, because you're sitting across from Bill Maher. I didn't realize this was an issue Bill Maher was vocally interested in, but good for him for giving voice to this.
Well, as an atheist, too, to bring that up, the plight of Christians in Nigeria, the persecution, the murdering, the killing of them is huge. And he's very educated. He's willing to have anyone on, particularly Republicans. He says we're the only ones that will go on his program to debate the issues. But he recognizes the problem, even as someone who's a classically liberal. But we're talking about Islamic terrorists that are killing Christians, and they've done it 100,000 times over plus in Nigeria the last 15 years or so. And it's a huge problem, and it's the tip of the spear. No one wants to talk about it. And even just recently in the last 24 to 48 hours, mainstream media, I think it was the Washington Post, saying that it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. It's not real. It's a figment of our imagination. And that's just not true either.
And I know the president of Nigeria is saying, there's more to this story, but the fact is, you have tens of thousands of Christians who have been killed. You said to me, don't go watch these videos. They are excruciating and they are hard to watch. So do you think that, the administration should relist Nigeria as a CPC?
I think that if anyone's going to do it, it'll be President Trump. I mean, he is a person that brought attention to this issue in his first administration. He's the only president in my lifetime of almost 50 years on Earth that has ended wars rather than started them. And so if anyone can do it, I know that Donald Trump can.
There's no doubt about it on this historic week. Middle East peace. I never thought we'd see it just a few months into the administration. It's amazing. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thank you so much for bringing attention to this issue.